What's good, YouTube? In this video we're going to be talking about the Ranked Arenas Season 13 weapon tier list. Now for this video, let me know down in the comment section what you guys think of this video, and also let me know on the guns that you strongly disagree with. But let me know down in the comment section on that, just to let you guys know before we start this video off, just like how every tier list video we have to do. Guns, legends are all situational, so every gun, legend can all be at the top tier. So just understand that. But when I rank these guns, I have to rank them for how often they are used in arenas, how impactful they are, and I also have to take in consideration of the price, like, you know, how often can you get these guns at, you know, a certain round. Do you have to pair these guns up with a legend, or do you have to pair this gun up with another gun to have it be good? You know, there's a lot of factors that factor into ranking these guns, so just understand that. Yes, every gun can be dominant. Just understand that all those things that I said when I'm ranking these guns. But yeah, let's start off the video. First, we're going to start off with the light machine guns. And at the light machine guns, we have, first off, we're going to talk about the Rampage. The Rampage I have at B tier. The L-Star we have at B tier as well. The Spitfire I have at A tier. And then the Devotion I have at A tier. Now the Rampage and the L-Star at B tier, I do think the Rampage is good. I definitely think it could be in the A tier, but it doesn't get as much use now compared to what it did in Season 11 because of the nerfs that it has received. The L-Star is probably the weakest one out of all the LMGs, but the fact that it doesn't reload is pretty good. The Spitfire came back this season, and the Spitfire we have at A tier because you're talking about if you're using this gun for distance. It has a lot of ammo in it, and it's very friendly, right? You can use this gun easy. I think it's the easiest LMG compared to all the LMGs to use, so that's why I gave it some extra points to put it up in the A tier. And then the Devotion did end up getting some nerfs. We have an A tier. Last season it was definitely an S tier gun, but with the nerfs and with the price increases, I had to put it down a little bit in A tier. But this gun definitely has the impact of S tier when it's able to be purple, meaning you can get the turbo with it, and usually that's around rounds like 4 and up. Sometimes the people are mainly Devo people, they'll try to get it round 3. But yeah, those are the LMGs. Now the shotguns, we have the EVA 8. I have the EVA at D tier. Oh, also I didn't mention, but I am ranking these guns S tier as the best, A tier as the second best, B tier, C tier, and then the worst tier is D tier. So we have the EVA 8 at the D tier. I don't see anybody using this gun anymore these past like 2 to 3 seasons. I have EVA at D tier. The Peacekeeper we have as C tier. The Peacekeeper, unless if it's a map like Drop Off, that's the only way I see this map or this gun getting used, or if you're just pairing it up with another gun. The gun is definitely good, but it's also inconsistent as well, but it's definitely most used as a secondary. That's the reason why I have it as C tier. The Mozambique. Now Mozambique is the first gun that we have in the S tier. The Mozambique is, you can use it all rounds, and you can also save a lot of materials, money, when it comes to using the Mozambique. It allows you to grab other things like heals, abilities, nades, you know, stuff like that. So Mozambique is S tier. It's the top gun in the game. So those were my shotguns. Now we have the marksman weapon. The marksman weapons, we have the triple take, the 30-30, and the bow check bow. Now the triple take and the 30-30, I both have those in B tier. I feel like both of these guns have a purpose. You know, they have that long range, and I do consider them the better long range weapons when we talk about marksman and sniper weapons. So I think from there, it's really just choose your choice on which one you prefer. I would definitely say the 30-30 is an A tier in the beginning though, in like the first round, but it's just one of those guns when you do get up close, you know, you're gonna have problems. So that's the reason why I have triple take and 30-30 in B tier. The bow check bow I have in the D tier, which is the worst tier. It's just a gun that nobody really uses in arenas, and not only that, it's a gun that you have to pair it up with another gun. If you get caught with the bow check bow and people are rushing you, it's probably not gonna go well for you. So that's the reason why I have bow check on the D tier. Now next we have the pistols, and the pistols are the RE45, the P2020 and the Wingman. The RE45, this is something some of you guys might disagree with, but I have the RE45 on the A tier. Now this is with or without hammers. I just combined it. Probably with hammers it might be in the S tier, without hammers it might be in the B tier, so I just combined it and put it in the A tier. RE45 is a good gun. I have been using it a lot more lately. Usually when I use a gun that's hammers, it's usually the Mozambique, but I've been experimenting with this RE45 and it is good. The P2020, whether with or without hammer points, I have it on the B tier. I think it's a gun that I use as a secondary a lot, just because I feel like the P20, with no attachments, basic level compared to the Mozam, it's more consistent. And the P20 with hammer points, I don't see it as good as the RE45 or the Mozam. So for that reason, I have it on the B tier. And then the Wingman we have at A tier. The reason why I have Wingman at A tier is because it is a very dominant gun, but it is a gun that can be iffy. It could definitely be a struggle to hit your shots with, but if you master this gun, you will 100% be a problem against the enemies. You will for sure dominate the game. But the Wingman, I do have an A tier. Now we have the submachine guns. Now I said this in my last season, but when they took the Volt out, I feel like all the submachine guns are all at the same tier. And when I say the same tier, I have all submachine guns in the B tier. So I have the Alternator, the Prowler, the R99, and the Car, all in B tier. You could definitely choose your choice on which one you prefer. I mean, it's just some guns that we'll talk about later can beat these guns in close ranges, and I think that's a problem because submachine guns should favor in the close range battles. Submachine guns aren't the best in mid to long range, so that's why I have them in B tier. For the guns that we already talked about, the Devotion and the Mozambique are two guns, and even the RE45, that's why I have the RE45 at A tier and not B tier. But those three guns that we already talked about, they could beat these submachine guns up close. There's also another gun that we're going to talk about later in this video that can beat submachine guns up close, and I feel like submachine guns definitely need a little boost up to make them better. Other than that, I have these guns in the B tier. Now let's talk about the sniper rifles. The sniper rifles, we have the charge rifle, the longbow, and the sentinel. Now the charge rifle I have in D tier. I put the charge rifle in the same category as the Bocek bow. I feel like you have to pair this gun up with something, a different gun, and if you get rushed, you are in big trouble because the charge rifle and the Bocek bow are not guns that you want to get caught up when people are aping you. So for that reason, I have the charge rifle in the D tier. Now the longbow I have a C tier. The longbow is a very mid gun. I think it's definitely decent. Honestly prefer the triple tick and the 30-30 over the longbow, so that's why I have it in C tier. And not only that, I would also prefer the sentinel. The sentinel we have on B tier as well. The sentinel is a gun that can definitely hit. I was debating on putting the sentinel on B tier or A tier. I wanted to put it B tier, but it's definitely one of the better sniper marksman weapons, so for that reason I have it in the B tier, but I could definitely see people put it in the A tier. Now let's talk about the main guns that I think that majority of people use, and that is the assault rifles. In the assault rifles, we have the Havoc, the Flatline, the Hemlock, and the R301. Now the Havoc did get a buff, so for that reason I have it in B tier. I think last season I put the Havoc in C tier, but this season we got to put it up a notch and put it up in the B tier. It's definitely a good gun, definitely better in the close range compared to the medium to long range. If you can control this recoil on this gun, then this gun can definitely be A tier as well. But we have the Havoc at B tier. The next gun that we're going to talk about is the Hemlock. The Hemlock I have in the A tier. I'm pretty sure last season I had the Hemlock in the B tier, but with the reduce in the price when it comes to the Hemlock, I mean, you could get a Hemlock purple at like $11.50 materials, which means that you could probably get this gun purple in like the second and third round, and that is big. That's big time. The Hemlock is a really good gun, and it's not too bad in the close range battles. So for that reason, we have to have the Hemlock there in the A tier. Also, not to forget that the Hemlock does have the boosted loader as an attachment when you have it on purple, and that's big time as well. So The Hemlock, it's a good gun, definitely underrated. For that reason, like I said, we have it on the A tier. Now the next gun that we're going to talk about is the R301, majority of people's favorites. And the R301, of course, we have to have it in the S tier. It's probably, like I said, one of the best medium to long range weapons. For sure, the most reliable, consistent gun to have. And for that reason, you know, we have to have it in the S tier. It's just honestly a very good gun to have. Now the last gun that we are going to talk about in the assault rifles, and that is the Flatline. The Flatline is honestly my personal favorite, and I honestly have to say that this gun is S tier. Flatline is S tier because it's a gun that could dominate in the close to medium range. It's just a very good gun. I don't really know much to say. I mean, this is a gun that could dominate a basic flatline, a level 1 flatline. If you get it to level 2 to where it's blue, that's good as well. Just the flatline is just a really good gun. I don't know what else to say. The flatline I would consider more close to medium range compared to the R301, where I would consider more medium to long range. Depending on your playstyles, I would definitely base it off that. And the Flatline is one of those guns that I was talking about earlier in the video with the submachine guns, where the submachine guns were B tier, but the Flatline is just a gun that can dominate those submachine guns if you go against it. So like I said, for that reason we have it in S tier. And then of course the care package weapons, the Mastiff, the Volt, the Kraber, the G7 Scout, we have all those guns in the S tier. I will say though, if you see the Mastiff, Kraber, or Volt, I would definitely try to play around that care package weapon. The G7 is good too. It's just definitely, it's situational. I will say that. This was the weapon tier list for season 13 ranked arenas. Let me know what you guys think of this video. Comment down in the comment section your favorite gun and what do you rank it. Also, if there's a gun you strongly disagree with in this video, let me know down in the comment section as well. This was the video, you guys. If you guys did like the video, don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. I'll see you guys on the next one.